Chicago Bears are currently 7-3 on the season, and they lead the NFC North Division, and they control their own destiny. There's a chance that they can win this division. Let's take a look at their remaining schedule. They face the Steelers at home. The Steelers are a very inconsistent team. One week, they look good. The next week, the defense doesn't show up. They have been very up and down this year. That's a winnable game. Then you face the Philadelphia Eagles 5 days later. That's the Black Friday matchup. Now, the Eagles, they have one of the best defenses in the NFL against the run and against the pass. But their offense, something is off, especially when it comes to the pass game with Jalen Hurts. They face the Green Bay Packers on the road, another inconsistent team. You face the Cleveland Browns at home. The Browns are one of the worst teams in the NFL. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is their starting quarterback. And if he's not their starting quarterback, it'll be Dylan Gabriel. I'll take the Bears in that matchup. You face the Green Bay Packers at home. I can see the Bears splitting with the Packers here. Then you face the 49ers on the road, and you close out against the Lions. So there is a chance that the Bears win this division. And even if they don't win this division, they may make the NFL playoffs. It has been a weird season this year for the Bears. But let's give Ben Johnson a lot of credit. He has done a terrific job up to this point. If this was the Bears from last season with Matt Eberflus as the head coach, they would be 3-7, at this time of the year. Ben Johnson, he finds ways to win. Matt Eberflus, he found ways to lose. And going back to week 1 here, you had a lot of people come out and they were saying Caleb Williams is not the guy. He did not perform well in the second half against the Minnesota Vikings. They came out to that huge lead and they were the home team. And they lost that matchup 27-24. Caleb was 21-35, 210 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. But you saw as the game went on, he lost touch with the accuracy. He was overthrowing wide receivers. They had a chance to win this game. But you still have a quarterback that is learning to play within this system with Ben Johnson. It's his first game with this head coach and with these offensive pieces. He wasn't comfortable, especially against the blitz in the second half. Now, the next week against the Lions, Ben Johnson, former team, they defeat the Lions. The Lions defeat the Bears 52-21. Just a terrible game all around. Caleb Williams, 19-30, 207 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. And the 1 interception that he did throw, he was trying to throw the football away. But here comes the defender. He comes down with the football. Just a bad play by Caleb Williams, but he has to learn from that. And he has as the season went on. Now, at this point in time in the year, you have so many people in the national media. They're saying that Caleb Williams is a bust. He's not the guy. We're only 2 games in to his second season, and people are saying that he's not the guy. It's crazy. Then you go into week 3 against the Dallas Cowboys, the coming out party for Caleb Williams. And around this point in time, they cannot run the football. And Ben Johnson came out in week 1. He said that he wanted to run the football better with DeAndre Swift. He said that it was on him. In week 2, he said the same thing. But going into week 3, he had a different approach. He said that he would like to run the football as much as possible, but he felt like Caleb could make some big plays in this game. And that is what Caleb did. He was phenomenal. 19-28, 300 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And you can say the Cowboys have a terrible defense. You can't help who you play. You can only go out there and control how you play and control the situation that you're in. And that is what the Bears did. They took advantage of a bad secondary and they got the football to Rome Odunze and Luther Burden. It was phenomenal. Caleb still has some passes that he'll like to have back, but it was a great game for him and for the offense. The offensive line kept him upright and he made plays in structure. He didn't fly outside the pocket. He didn't hold on to the football for a very long time. He did what the coach asked him to do within this system. Now, the next week against the Las Vegas Raiders, they won this matchup 25-24. It wasn't pretty at all. It came down to the last play. Field goal attempt for the Raiders. It gets blocked. The Bears win. You can say that luck was involved in that situation, and I'll refer you back to the game last year when the Commanders had the Hail Mary on the Bears. It happens in the NFL. So if you're going to have the same energy and say, well, the Bears are getting lucky, a lot of lucky things happen in the NFL. That's just the way that it is. But in this matchup, Caleb Williams had good moments, especially late in this game. He had 212 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception. He only got sacked once, but Max Crosby in that first half was a monster. And late in the fourth quarter, constantly, he was putting pressure on Caleb. But Caleb still missed a lot of throws in this game, and the defense had 3 interceptions. For you to win this matchup 25-24, look, you won, that's great. But you would like to see more of a dominant effort from your offense, especially your quarterback, when the defense is giving you the football 3 times. But Caleb had a lot of misses on third down, a lot of misses on second down in the first and the second quarter. Late in the third quarter and for the entire fourth quarter, he was damn near perfect. And he showed his clutch gene late in this game. And they got the rushing touchdown late in this matchup to put them up by 1 point. Against the Washington Commanders the next week, it came down to the fumble with Jaden Daniels in the running back. Caleb Williams goes out there to get the football. He gets them to field goal range. They won this matchup 25-24, the same score as the week before. Caleb 17-29, 252 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 0 interceptions. The difference in this game, Jaden Daniels turned the football over. Caleb did not. And Caleb did play well in structure in this matchup. He was not late on reads. He didn't hold on to the football for a very long time. Once again, he had some accuracy issues, but it wasn't a killer moment. He was able to go out there and help his team out. You get into field goal range, you make the kick. Against the Saints, weird game here for Caleb. Not a good game. 172 passing yards, 0 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. But you won this matchup 26-14. Now your run game is starting to get better. Now your run game is going out there and it's helping out Caleb. It's taking that pressure off of him. You won this matchup because of your defense and your run game. As a Caleb Williams fan, he did not play well in this matchup. He had a couple of good plays. But with him being the first overall pick, you'll like to see more out of him once again. It's the inconsistency with the accuracy and forcing the football into tight windows where they don't need to be. Then against the Baltimore Ravens, this is when a lot of people came out. He got outplayed by Tyler Huntley. But they failed to mention this. The Bears secondary was banged up. No one was fully healthy on the back end that was a starter. No Jalen Johnson, no Tyreek Stevenson. The secondary play was so bad, they went out there and they signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And yes, Tyler Huntley did have a better day than Caleb in this matchup. Caleb in this game against the Ravens, 25 of 38, 285 passing yards, 0 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. The accuracy, once again, was an issue, especially late in this game with DJ Moore. DJ Moore is wide open. He saw him late. But this is still a quarterback that is young in his career. And many people have done this with Bo Nix. When you have a bad game or two, they write you off early on in your career. It's going to take some time. I am concerned with the accuracy issues. This was a bad game. But from every single loss this season, Caleb and this offense and the entire team, they have learned from it. Now, against the New York Giants, no one could catch the football consistently. If you look at the box score here with Caleb, you will say, well, he's 20 of 36, 220 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. He was terrible. He was hitting wide receivers right in between their chests. He didn't even trust his wide receivers late in the game. He took it to the house for himself. Another game-winning drive for Caleb Williams. He gets the team up with his legs. He played well in this game. The numbers won't tell you that. But the wide receivers, they just couldn't catch consistently. And this is a game in the past with Matt Eberflus, Matt Nagy, they would have lost this matchup. But they have Ben Johnson as a head coach. And he's finding ways to make adjustments at halftime. Let's run the football here with Kyle Monangai. Let's run the football here with DeAndre Swift. Let's work off a play action. And Ben Johnson was seen as a coach by many as a guy that relied too much on gadget plays. You're not seeing that with the Bears. He is a young head coach, but he's old school. He focuses on the trenches, on run blocking, pass blocking. And that is how the game is won and lost in this league. If you have a bad offensive line, it's a good chance you're going to lose that matchup, depending on the team. If you have a very good offensive line, you have a good chance to win that game if your quarterback can hit the wide receivers in space and if he can read NFL defenses. A good offensive line makes everyone's life easier, and the same with a good defensive line. And we've seen this offensive line get better every single week since week 3. That is what you look for. That's why you made the trade to bring in Joe Thuney. That's why you went out there and you signed Drew Dalman in free agency. That's why you drafted Darnell Wright in the first round a couple of years ago. You made the trade to bring in Jonah Jackson. Caleb Williams, one of the most pressured, one of the most sacked quarterbacks last year. And I know what a lot of people are going to say. Well, he holds onto the football for a very long time. It was a bad system. There was no structure with Shane Waldron. That's why he got fired early on. Then Thomas Brown becomes the interim offensive coordinator. Then he becomes the interim head coach. No rookie was going to succeed in that system, and yet Caleb did put up good numbers. He did the best that he could. Just because you have talented players at the wide receiving position doesn't mean that you have been placed into a great situation. That offensive line was abysmal last year, and now you see Caleb Williams with more time within a structured offense. He can give you some good plays. Is it perfect? No. He still has a lot to work on, but it's better than what it was last year because they're winning games and we're seeing a quarterback improve every single week with just the little things here. And against the Minnesota Vikings, this was a weird game. Caleb 16-32, 193 passing yards. Now look, I call it fair. I feel like I'm fair in my videos towards players. The players did have a lot of drops around Caleb, but we have to be honest here. Caleb did miss a lot of passes that could have went for touchdowns in this game. And you see Ben Johnson, he shakes his head on to the next play. In order for this entire thing to work with Caleb, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his mechanics, if his arm is just too powerful in this league. He has to stop overthrowing wide receivers. If the Bears make the playoffs and you overthrow a wide receiver more than once, that can be the main reason why you lose that matchup. And his accuracy was not an issue at USC. But in this game against the Minnesota Vikings, whenever Brian Flores sent pressure, Caleb constantly got outside the pocket. He made a defender or two miss, and he has his eyes down the field. Wide receivers are open. He throws it immediately, overthrows them 10 to 15 yards. It's great to get outside the pocket and to make that play, but you have to connect. At the college level, he was constantly connecting. Even last year, he had those passes, but this year, he's missed his mark a lot. And the one thing I'm starting to notice with Caleb, whenever he recognized the blitz, he starts to drift to the right. Just stand inside the pocket, step into pressure, you'll be fine. And he has done this. He did this against the Baltimore Ravens, even though that was a bad game. One of the good moments, they sent in pressure. He steps inside the pocket, delivers it. He does take a hit straight on the dime to the tight end. Against the Cincinnati Bengals, know it's one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They send in pressure, delivers a dot down the middle of the field. So he's capable of doing this, but he needs to be more consistent with his accuracy. And the Minnesota Vikings, they should have never been in this game. The Bears dominated for the first, second, and third quarter, similar to what they did in week 1. Now, this is a learning experience here for Ben Johnson. He was going for it on fourth down in week 1. He had that Dan Campbell mindset when he was playing with the Lions, when he was the offensive coordinator with the Lions. Let's go for it on fourth down. Let's trust my personnel. This time, we're going to take our points. And he learned from it. And he saw that J.J. McCarthy, he's struggling right now. He had 2 interceptions in this game, but J.J. comes out. It's deja vu. Goes down there, gets a touchdown late in the game. Devin Duvernay, when they needed him the most on special teams, he steps up. Runs the football down the field. Almost gets them to field goal range. The offense, they go out there, they run some plays. They get into field goal range. Here comes Santos. Kick the game-winning field goal. So the wins here, they're not pretty, but they're winning football games. It is similar to the Denver Broncos here. And I still have a huge question with the Bears. I don't know if this is a good team or this is just a team. They're just finding ways to win, and that luck may run out very soon. But I look at it from this standpoint. Having a consistent run game is not lucky. They're second in rushing offense with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. That is going to carry over for the rest of the year. Their defensive line play has gotten better. It is still not where it needs to be, but Montez Sweat has played better over the last month. If they can get healthy on the back end with Jalen Johnson, and I don't know if he plays again this season, he's dealing with a serious groin injury. You pair him up with Tyreek Stevenson, that's a very good secondary. Look at that from last year. I know that Tyreek Stevenson had the bad play against the Washington Commanders. He's a very good cornerback. He has been their best player in the secondary this season at the cornerback position. Now, you could say overall it has been Kevin Byard. Whenever they need a big play, here comes Byard with an interception. But there's something here with the Bears. If they can just be more consistent and Caleb Williams can just work on that accuracy, this can be a very hard team to beat. And the one thing that I look at, besides the Ravens game and besides the Lions game, they have been in a lot of games this season. But I'm definitely giving them credit for finding ways to win football games. And a lot of that is on Ben Johnson. He's definitely in the running for winning Coach of the Year this season. And Kyle Monangai has been a beast. DeAndre Swift has been dealing with injuries this season. He's been battling through it. But Kyle Monangai, very good pickup for the Chicago Bears. I know that they wanted Ashton Jeanty. Instead, the Raiders selected him. And look at Ashton Jeanty right now with the Raiders. They should have picked an offensive lineman instead. Just my opinion. But you are doing very good things with the running backs that you have. The wide receivers here, Rome Odunze, he is their number one. Caleb has zoned in on him constantly. But DJ Moore has played better over the last couple of games. That connection is still off. You have Cole Kmet at the tight end position. Cole Kmet is a very good player. But I would like to see Colston Loveland take that spot from Cole Kmet. They have really underutilized Colston Loveland this season. And you selected him in the first round for a reason. And I know that it's a Ben Johnson team, similar to what he did with the Lions. He wants to have a bunch of talent on the field. But there's only one football. And when you have a dynamic playmaker like Colston Loveland, you have to get him the football as much as possible. Look at what he did against the Bengals. That connection with him and Caleb helped you win that game. And Luther Burden, he's another one of them. Luther Burden is a monster. And Luther Burden has taken more of a role in this offense over the last couple of weeks over Zacchaeus. And I think that's the right way to go here. But this is a nice young core with the Bears on the offensive end. Braxton Jones is on IR. Theo Bennett has been up and down, but he has played well in certain stretches this year. Joe Tooney is still a very good left guard. Same with Jude Dahlman at the center position. Jonah Jackson, very inconsistent. He's had more bad plays than good plays this season. But to his credit, he has played better over the last 4 weeks. Defensively here, they just have to get healthy with Dennis Allen calling defensive plays. Montez Sweat, you can say that he's overpaid right now, but he's doing the best that he can. The defensive line play is so inconsistent. They have still struggled to stop the run. But if you can have Tremaine Edmonds and a healthy TJ Edwards, that's a very good linebacking duo. And TJ Edwards is dealing with an injury right now. Nashawn Wright was able to come up with a huge interception against the Minnesota Vikings. So they're coming away with these splash plays. The defense, they had a lot of takeovers within a 5-week span in the middle of the year this year. My biggest thing with the Bears here is the development with Caleb Williams and that accuracy. But he's winning football games the same way that Bo Nix and the Broncos are winning games. I'm not saying that the Bears are major contenders, but to see them be 7-3 this early on with Ben Johnson, that's a quick turnaround. And he's setting a foundation for many years to come. I haven't seen a coach have this immediate impact with this organization in a very long time. I wasn't the biggest fan of Matt Nagy. I did not view him as a good head coach with this organization. And you guys know how I feel about Matt Eberflus. He still has that timeout in his pocket till this day that he should have used on Thanksgiving against the Lions last year. He was a terrible head coach. But Ben Johnson is all about the blue collar style. Go out there, be rough. You're always in games. You never give up. You don't give up on me. I'm not going to give up on you. That's the mentality that he has. And I love it. I'm rooting for the Bears. This is still a tough division with the Packers, but they're very inconsistent on the offensive end. The Lions, their offensive line is not the same. And we saw them learn from that loss against the Minnesota Vikings in week 1. When they match up again, there may be another learning lesson for the Bears with Ben Johnson. And to back Caleb up here with the accuracy issues, I don't know what it is, but a lot of quarterbacks are just missing wide open wide receivers this season. We've seen Josh Allen do it. Jordan Love has done it a lot this year. Patrick with Kansas City, he's done it. So maybe it's just a one-off for the quarterbacks this year. But regardless, his accuracy needs to be better. Getting inside and outside the pocket is phenomenal with Caleb. And the short routes have been better as well with him. He's taking the checkdowns. He's making life easier on himself and the rest of the team. And that is what you want to see. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about Caleb and the Bears moving forward? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys to stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless. Peace.